Hello creation, hope you're well. I've just written this, it's just come through, it's called The Ghosts of What's Right and Wrong. Where do we go when our world is in confusion? To whom or what do we turn when lower energies are uninvitedly intruding? Energy so precious is a commodity beyond that of gold, so we must put in place those barriers and leave the uninvited out in the cold. To whom or what do we turn from when life seems unfulfilling? When those tests of life knock once, twice, thrice to pile upon all of that already enduring? Open to the ridicule of ignorance acquired by limited education, by those of blinkered mindset, controlled by a conditioned system found within every nation. Do we curtail those wanton destructive energies by force of one's free will? This loving course of action is the only one to take, for any other action sees not the soul fulfilled. Free will, you see, it's a choice, isn't it? At times, energies unwanted rock up for our attention. When called to do so, we must answer the call to address. This gives opportunity in part for some kind of soul redemption. Give time to the self for actions that must be taken. We should act upon those moments provided, or the soul will feel forsaken. These journeys will not be easy for those of no experience. How will they know what to do in a judgmental world based upon illusion masked with ignorance? And still the dance of life goes on. Action, reaction, consequence and opinion lays to rest the ghosts of right and wrong. Navigations differ as we weave, duck and dive. 'Tis by the experiencing of action, reaction, consequence and opinion that creation itself evolves and thrives. If not for the purpose of experience and evolution, what be the need for life? Is not life a true blessing? Is it not a divine gift being alive? Some may not see it as such, depending upon the role they are playing. Free will gifts one courtesy of opinion, and also gifts one a choice as to whether or not one will be open to opinion swaying. Each in turn be of value as creation sets not the barrier, and each one must accept responsibility as each are their own burden carrier. When speaking of one's truth in one's true authentic way, one must voice it purely as opinion, as not all will perceive it this way. When we allow the other to be the other, then all will thrive, allowing dreams to fulfill. But when one dictates upon another, then one's purity of self is distilled. Days to come in an ever-evolving world will witness a birthing of new stories told by more than just poetry and song, and an equality never seen before upon this world of illusion and ignorance will lay to rest the ghosts of what's right and wrong. Yeah, we've all got opinions, haven't we? We've all got opinions, and at times some of us might think it's better for others if they, sort of live their lives by their standards, but who's to set such standards? Standards for one may be inappropriate to another. Not just to the other, but in a sense of, of the physical, as it were, in the physical, but for their spiritual growth. As each are on their own path individually, to experience in their own ways individually. So when you've got energies that dictate that you must, and it's not, you know, or this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. That in itself is a form of ignorance, not accepting that others have their own paths to walk. Each must answer for the decisions that they take, of course. Of course. When you have any energetic collective, you know, it's the birds of a feather, isn't it, flock together. But when one is on one's own individual path in search of whatever you're in search of, you may see a collective and think, oh, that's where I need to, that's my soul family, that's where I need to be. But then when you do go, it's all about resonance, you know. I don't do political. Not really. Not really. I have an opinion. My opinion is the whole pissing St. Patent system needs to come down. But that's just my opinion. You know, that's just my opinion. That set system needs to come. It needs amending, adjusting. Don't need to come down. It just needs adjusting, tweaking here and there. You know. That's as I see it. But I don't ever, and I would never resonate with getting whipped up in any, you know, whipped up into the fervour of any political agenda, any, regardless of the movement, regardless of what it represents. Someone stood on stage and, you know, being adored. It's not, that's certainly not what I would want in my life, and I really mean that. It isn't. We're all equal in the eyes of Creator. We're equal, regardless of what role you're playing, regardless of whether you're a, you know, whatever role it is, you know. But for me, there's too many who bask in the adoration of the political party, and what's more is those who are wanting change and seeking change, as I've mentioned before. Yes, I know in this system there are those who have to fight for change. I get that, I totally get that. It's how we conduct ourselves. It's the energy we portray. And I know credit where credit's due, but it's one of those, if it don't resonate, it don't resonate. And I can't say as I resonate with any political party, because every political party, regardless of what it is, has got an agenda. What's my agenda? Live and let live. Live and let live. Choose love. Hate don't work. It hasn't done for ages. Don't be part of a party that hates, that loves to hate. You know. There's so many who think they're awakened and they're so unawake. And that's sad, really. That's sad, because when they really do awake, when they have that realisation that they are not, because they can't discern and look at it from a higher perspective, then they'll realise they're not as far on as they thought. Such a great share. Anyway, I just wanted to share that piece with you. Lots of love to you all. Take care.